MSI always creates unforgettable moments.
Holy shit!
Legendary victories.
I never doubted them!
Heartbreaking losses.
They smash SKT!
And summer moments fans still meme about years later.
That is the worst Scuttles take I have ever seen in my life!
Hi everyone, I'm Jeesun. You may know me from my work on LCK and also international events. I will walk you through my favorite iconic MSI moments, storylines, and even memes of all time in absolutely no particular order. Let's do it. First up is a perfect example of peak LPL representation at MSI.
Holy shit! Canyon is instantly deleted!
When I think about MSI 2021, one player immediately comes to mind, Gala.
Cannon minion slowly but steadily putting that DPS into the tier 2. They're already going in! Gala, man! He's already in the back line with a Guardian Angel!
Here, he perfectly showcased the wild aggression of LPL AD carries. And remember, this was the MSI Grand Finals with RNG taking on the reigning world champion DK. But even then, Gala was diving forward, starting fights, and making clutch plays. He was playing with fire. To me, this feels like the pinnacle of the LPL ADC carry style, a beast full of killer instinct.
Uzi may be gone, but we are witnessing the birth of a new marksman legend.
That moment really introduced Gala to the international audience. To me, this is one of the moments that I remember so clearly working from on site. I was standing right next to the stage waiting for the translation, and after RNG players won the team fight, I could hear the players roaring like beasts. And I think that moment perfectly captured their playstyle. In MSI 2015, SKT reached the finals where they faced EDG from the LPL. At the time, LeBlanc was still Faker's undefeated pick, and the crowd and casters went crazy the moment they saw it locked in.
Faker's LeBlanc, one of the best.
Yes,
He locks it in.
Faker has never lost with LeBlanc on the competitive stage.
But then EDG brought out Morgana for pawn.
And now Morgana is being picked by EDG.
And then counterpick worked perfectly.
Baron going very low at 1500. It is going to go over to clear.
Down goes Faker.
They take down Faker immediately. EDG could have eyes on the base.
And this moment showed that League of Legends is not only about mechanics. In the most important possible moment, strategy and drafting completely changed the outcome of the series. SKT and EDG players actually flew home on the same plane the next day, and SKT players remembered the team feeling so defeated the whole flight. And later on, SKT players shared how much the series impacted them throughout the rest of the year. They said the loss gave them a burning desire to focus only on Worlds later that season. Moving on to 2016, we cannot go without mentioning CLG's historic win over RNG. To North America, this win meant more than you could ever imagine. Not only did they take down one of the LPL's best, but it was also a massive comeback win after going down by almost 17,000 gold, which makes it so iconic. RNG were dominating the entire game, and nobody thought that CLG could actually pull it off.
Oh my god! Everyone, CLG are melting.
But at 37 minutes, CLG did what seemed impossible.
Dragon dying, I should say. Stixay does get Mata. The Dragon goes down. It's secured by Xpithy. That is the first one for them. Can they do it? Can you believe? Do you have the faith in CLG? Because they just secured 3. Looking for 4. Looking for it. And can they end on this one?
One teamfight later, the game was over and Chovy was jumping up and down, yelling,
I never doubted them!
CLG Counter Logic Gaming with the most unlikely victory.
Another of my favorites is the Bin and Gumayushi Jester battle. After BLG wins just the first game of semifinals in 2023,
Bin has his eyes on the prize, his eyes on the nexus as BLG will take the first game.
Bin walks back to the huddle room and makes a 3-0 gesture directly at the camera. Honestly, I had never seen a player interact with the camera between games during an international finals before. And then later, when T1 was down 0-2, Gumayushi responded back. He did a 3-2 reverse sweep gesture to the camera as well. I really love the interaction between those two players because understanding the immense pressure happening during the lower finals, they still deliver the storyline for the fans, and this is what makes esports so entertaining. And in fact, their gesture war continued into the following year too.
Spin! That's why people love him, showing off the 3-0.
And speaking of MSI narratives, we absolutely cannot skip G2 at MSI 2019. That tournament felt like Europe announcing to the entire world, we're back, and yes, we can beat the East.
Caps goes all the way to the steps of the fountain for a pentakill as G2 equalize the series at 1-1.
As an LCK fan, G2 was genuinely terrifying to watch, especially Wonder's top height.
Oh, they lock it in!
That pick was pure fear.
That's a dunk from Wonder, death from below for the double, for the ace.
That team played like chaos in the best possible way. And in the end, they took down Team Liquid 3-0 in the finals in what is still the fastest international best-of-5 series in league history, and they lifted the trophy with the legendary medic call.
This is what peak League of Legends looks like, and it comes from Europe!
For Western fans, that moment is immortal. Next up, honestly, this is a moment I don't even want to talk about, but we have to, because it was a shocking, record-breaking moment achieved by IG. At MSI 2019, everyone was excited to watch the reigning world champion IG facing SKT, who were returning to the international stage after their slump in 2018.
So can SKT still make worlds? The answer is no, that era is over.
The hype was massive, but the game didn't last very long.
Stun's down for Faker to land the stun though for Ning is plenty of damage in a Rune Prison. Trent's got more kills and assists than minutes in the game, and now number 6 and Jackie Love just lifesteal tanks the entirety of SKT. And we're 16 minutes into this game. Invictus Gaming are going to finish it.
15 minutes and 57 seconds. It became the fastest game in MSI history. As an LCK fan, this game was genuinely shocking.
15 minutes and 57 seconds. Absolutely insane.
7 years later, now I can laugh about it, but at the time, it felt painful. At the same time though, this MSI perfectly show how terrifying peak IG really was. Remember I mentioned the Gala's play in MSI 2021? Well, an LCS rookie top laner from Australia, Fudge, managed to spot Gala in the game's most decisive moment.
There's the stopwatch. Fudge has the flash kick. Dragon's Rage, he gets in! He gets Gala! And the Killer Instinct collects the combo! What's a god to Fudge? A beautiful secure on that kill!
He found the smallest opening to reach Gala's Xayah, one of the hardest AD carry champions to pick off. The rookie player pulled off the combo so clean and so fast with full confidence, it is still one of the most memorable Western mechanical outplays in MSI history. That tournament, Fudge played out of his mind and put his name on the map. And now, one of my favorite recent moments, MSI 2024 Finals. At that point, Genji and Chovy's international pressure felt higher than ever. The tension in the finals was unreal. And then Genji suddenly pulls out Lehends Blitzcrank in Game 2 of the finals.
What? The crank! The god hand! The crank!
From the very beginning, there were already crazy mind games happening across the map. Both teams constantly tried to outmaneuver each other in tense early game setups. There was non-stop camping in the bushes. Everyone was waiting to see who would break the ice first. And then, Lehends Blitzcrank finally landed the opening hook.
Here's the teleport in.
Punish. Hook perfectly timed by Lehends. We haven't seen it in a while, but that's the crank, baby.
And after that, Blitzcrank completely took over the game. Every hook felt game-changing. Genji snowballed endlessly off those picks, and Lehends fully controlled the pace of the game. He pulled out Blitzcrank on that stage, under that pressure, and performed perfectly. To no one's surprise, he was announced as Finals MVP. And next up, one of the cutest recent MSI moments, the Krug Lord himself, Doran. Before MSI, during the LCK season, Doran died to Krugs in a game against KT.
What? Doran just died to Krugs because he felt like it.
No, I'm sorry, I don't understand. Can you repeat that?
He died to Krugs because he felt like it.
I don't get it.
And then later, he still clutched the rest of the series and even the season after that moment.
There's a teleport in here from Doran as... Oh my god, he could... Oh! Okay, Doran. All right, buddy. That is called redemption. redemption!
Naturally, it instantly became a meme. He was crowned the Krug Lord. Then during MSI, Shox came up with this brilliant idea. She planned to hand Doran pet rocks during the stage interview as a reference to the Krug's moment.
We have a little gift for you to improve maybe just one small part of your training.
또 이렇게 선물을 준비해 주셔서 너무 감사하고요. 예, 돌거북 위험합니다. 조심하세요.
Behind the scenes, we double and triple checked with T1 beforehand to make sure both the team and Doran were comfortable using the meme together. Thankfully, Doran was super open to it. He loved the idea, and so did the crowd. And that is how we got one of the cutest and the funniest MSI interview moments in recent years. Now, I have to talk about my favorite ADC of all time. No bias here. At MSI 2015, SKT entered the tournament with a very different roster compared to the 2013 World Champion team global fans remembered. A lot of people were still unsure about the new version of SKT. And then, Bang introduced himself to the international audience with a Lucian pentakill against Fnatic.
Zero Marin is huge, literally, because that wild growth. Hootie manages to catch Faker with his ultimate, but Faker back away. Fnatic in big trouble. Double kill for Bang already. Make it a triple kill. And now SK Telecom, despite that big up for Bevivin.
Bang's going in!
Oh, Bevivin near Penta! That's a pentakill, I believe. Yes, it is! For Bang and SK Telecom.
After the pentakill, the camera zooming in on Lucian running forward with his arms behind him was the cherry on top. Whoever marries that guy someday is going to be very lucky. To me, MSI has always felt like the tournament where legendary players finally satisfy their international hunger. One of the best examples is MSI 2018 with RNG and Uzi. For years, people called him one of the greatest ADC prodigies in the world, but there was always pressure around him because he still didn't have an international title. However, at this MSI, something different was in the air.
Right to 110. RNG inside the Baron pit. Super minions out of the belt. But look at the fight. That's already a kill. Casa is gone. King's don't lose Gorilla, and it's Uzi that picks him up. The feathers are going back and forth to Shao, who dies. Uzi is the last man alive, but he's being chased down. Killer Instinct flashes into the pit. How is he still alive? Uzi is doing it.
Shao is on his way for him.
Oh, that's straight onto play. Call of the Forge God comes out as well as Killer Instinct. Royal never give up on doing it. They get a double kill on Uzi. They're looking for the tower.
And finally, at MSI 2018, Uzi lifted his first international trophy.
Royal never give up on your MSI 2018 champions.
And I felt a very similar emotion again at MSI 2024, which brings us to our final moment. But before we get there, we cannot forget about these.
Oh, it was not enough at all. Lucian's going to die to a turret, and Chovy is going to sit on the base.
We're spotting the guys coming from the side, but this engage is insane. The Baron trying to make it, maybe make a steal. Oh, he gets started.
957 manages to survive a few seconds longer.
Calling T1's bluff, and Baker finds them all. However, they'll pop in, delivered, nine, clutch, but Chovy wants to turn it back midfield, is only going to shut down. He completely whiffed. BLG, eyes on the prize, focus.
Archie's now the target, he's got no support. Sweetheart follows it through for his 14th kill.
It's a lot as we look at Chovy again, who I don't know how he's going to have energy tomorrow, but I'm sure
he'll find it.
And luckily he went to the right side immediately.
It was just to let him watch the Nexus fall. Oh, Mad Lions, you all are fantastic to watch.
For years, Chovy was constantly praised as one of the best mid laners in the world, but the international title question always followed him everywhere. This was the year he broke the curse.
7 years the LCK has waited. 7 years Genji has waited. A lifetime Chovy has waited. But he and Genji are your MSI champions. We finally did it! And the man that shows no emotion hugs the rest of his team.
So seeing him finally overcome that hurdle and win MSI felt incredibly satisfying. I wonder how cathartic that felt, not only for him, but for fans watching too. When players who have been considered the best for years finally prove it on the international stage, it almost feels relieving, even as a viewer. Looking back on all of these moments, MSI is definitely one of the most prestigious events in LoL Esports. And now MSI is finally returning to Korea once again. So my question is, who will create the next epic MSI moment? Leave your guesses in the comments.